Hi everybody, this tutorial is for keyboard players who are getting ready to play the purple belt. And as I'm sure you have noticed as you've been going through your belts, every time you have to play a different song, it gets harder and harder and harder. And every time the new things we add in take a little bit more time to learn about. And that's the way music is. You never do anything all at once. You do a little bit at a time, so you can be successful with whatever comes next. So now in this purple belt song called Reggae Wonderland, by the way, this is for 4th grade only, not 5th grade. For Reggae Wonderland, it becomes much more difficult now. We have 5 brand new things in here that we have to learn about. There are actually 6 things, but one of them we don't really have to do. It's written in there, but we're actually going to kind of ignore it. So we're going to start off with one that you might already know, and that is something called a whole note. And a whole note is just a circle with no stem. And we have one in this song. It's at the very end. You can see that do down there. That's a whole note. And that you hold out for 4 beats. So if I'm playing do for 4 beats, I'm going to go 1. Oops, what happened to my speaker? There it is. 1. Well, isn't that just strange? Let's try this. I'm going to try the whole note again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I let go. Okay? So here's a problem that we have with whole notes. We are Americans. That means we like things to be fast. The faster the better. We like fast cars. We like to run. We like everything to be super speedy. People have this really bad tendency because of that love of fast things. We have this horrible tendency to get to a whole note, and we're counting along like this the whole time and keeping this nice tempo. And then we get to the whole note, and instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we change it to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? If you do that, you will not pass this belt. You have to keep that steady tempo the entire time. Just some of you have had that issue in other songs too, so be extra careful about that. All right, so now, here's the new thing that I'm just going to tell you about, but we're not actually going to do. So it's that 6th extra thing. And it is this little thing above the whole note, this little weird curvy thing with a dot under it, called a fermata. And what that really means in real life is you can hold it out as long as you want, whatever feels right to you. However, since this is our first song where we're really seeing a whole note in there, we don't want you to do that. We want you to play that for exactly 4 beats. As we go on, if you see them in other songs, then you can do that. Now, that's the first new thing. Second new thing is you have something called a tie. And a tie is right here. And it's connecting 2 notes together. It's this little curvy line. And the way a tie works, man, I wish I had a piece of, I kind of do have strings in here. Okay, I have part of my scarf, so I'll use that. All right, so I have this short string, and I have this string. But what I really want is 1 long string, but I only have 2 short strings, and I need to figure out how to make them long, 1 long string out of them. So what would I do? Hopefully you thought or said that I would tie them together. So if I tie these 2 together, I'm taking 2 short strings, and I am making them into 1 long string. So now when I hold it up, I have 1 long string. It's double the length. I made my string double the length. Okay? So with a tie in music, it's the same type of thing. This little line, this tie, is actually tying this note and that note together to make 1 longer note. So I have a quarter note that equals 1 beat and a half note that equals 2 beats. So I tie them together, so I kind of have to add them together, and that means it's 3 beats. So that'll last for 3. 1, 2, 3. So if I'm playing this measure, do, do, re, mi, it'll be like this. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, and off. Now, you might be wondering, well, why didn't you just use a dotted half note? And the reason is a dotted half note would not fit in that measure. I already have 3 beats, and I am set on having those 3 beats. I want those 3 beats in there no matter what. But I really, 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 really want the next thing to be 3 beats long. So that's a secret that musicians kind of have, a little trick we use. I put a quarter note there, and then I figure, well, what would I need to put here to make the quarter note plus that add up to 3? And 1 plus 2 is 3, so I put a half note, and then I just draw that little line, and that ties it together. So then I can put that in that measure in that spot and not have to worry about it. So if you ever kind of wondered, well, man, how can I do that? Now you know. And now you know why we don't just use a dotted half note, because it wouldn't fit. Okay, so that's your second new thing. I said there were 5. Stick with me. I know this is a long one. That's because there's so many things. This belt, you're not going to get through it easily. It's going to take you a few different days to do. Okay. The next thing you have to do is we have our high la, which is in the second space up. We also call that A. And we have high so, which is the second line up, and we also call that G. So now let's start with the high so. So there it is, right there, second line up. So anytime I see a note on the second line up, I'm going to play so. And if I'm looking right now, that falls nicely under my little pinky finger. But now I have a problem. High la is higher than that, which means I have to do 1 key to the right, and uh-oh, I am out of fingers. So actually, now what I have to do is retrain my fingers a little bit. Now that you guys are used to that nice fingering, if you've ever seen a pianist play, they don't always leave their hands in one spot. They move their fingers back and forth. They move their whole hands back and forth to reach where they need to reach. I'm going to leave my left hand where it is because I am going to need that thumb on do. Now I'm going to have to start playing do with my left hand. But I am actually going to take my entire right hand and I'm going to move it up 1 key. So now my thumb is resting on re. My pointer finger is resting on mi, my middle finger on fa, my ring finger on so, and my pinky finger on la. So now when I want to play so, I'm going to put down my ring finger. When I play la, I'm going to put down my pinky finger, number 5. I should call these numbers. We've been talking about numbers. When I want to play mi, now instead of using my number 3 finger, my middle finger, I'm going to use number 2. When I want to play do, or re, I'm going to use my right hand first finger. And when I want to play do, I'm going to use my left hand first finger. That way, I still don't have to be moving around in the middle of the song. So I'm going to try to move this so you guys can see. I'm just going to do it with my right hand. Before, I had my right hand on do, whoops, and my thumb on do. Now I'm going to take my entire hand and move it up 1 key. So now I'm on re, mi, fa, so, la. And so and la are the new ones that I'm going to be using. So, just to give you an idea of how that plays, I'm going to play this first line, the whole first line for you. I'm not going to play the whole song for you, but I'm going to play the full first line. I'm going to have some ties in there. I'm going to have half notes. More ties. I'm going to have my las and so's. So here I go. Do, re, mi, 1, 2, 3, rest, rest. Do, do, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do, do, re, mi, 2, 3, rest, rest. La, la, so, re. Okay, now there's one thing left, and I actually played that line incorrectly. I did pause a little bit in the middle because I was making a split-second decision on whether I wanted to do something or not. But since I didn't tell you about it, I decided not to do it. But now I have to tell you about it, so it's time I'm going to do it. The last thing, we did 4 things. We did the whole note so far. We've done the tie. We have done high la. We have done high so. Now the very last thing we're going to be doing is a repeat sign. And repeat signs kind of look like double bar lines, but they have two little dots beside them. Okay? So what I do, when I see these little dots, they're called a repeat sign, but I kind of think of them as bouncy balls, and they'll bounce me all the way back to the opening repeat sign. So when I'm playing this, I go through this line, I go through this like normal, and then I see this first set of bouncy balls. Now what that does is it bounces me back to here so that I have to play, and then these bouncy balls catch me and push me forward again. Okay? Luckily, once you do them once, they're negated, and unless you have special instructions in the music, you only have to ever bounce once. So then I go on. Ooh, I'm noticing an opening one, so I'm going to kind of keep track of that in my mind because I know I'm going to have to go back there eventually. Oh, there I hit the repeat sign, so I'm going to bounce myself back here, and these bouncies keep me going forward again. And then I play it. And then same thing down here. There's a million times this happens in this song. There I see an opening one, and boing, back to there. Okay, I see another opening repeat sign. There's the closing repeat sign, so boing, the bouncy balls bounce me back, and those ones catch me and push me forward again. And then finally, here's the last one. Doing, play it twice, and then down here is the last note, and there is no more repeat sign, just a plain old double bar line, so I don't have to repeat that one. So now I'm going to play the first line, and this time I'm going to do it truly correctly because now I'm going to bounce back when I see the repeat sign. So here I go. Sorry, I'm trying to make it so I can see it and you can see it. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeat. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, bounce back 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I could choose that you could see my music or my hands, not both. So I had that la and so going with those different fingers. I'm sorry that I did stop a little bit after that to say repeat sign. You're really not supposed to. It should be immediate like this. I'm just going to play this again so you can hear how it goes if I'm not saying repeat sign. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm really trying hard at this point not to have my eyes focused on it. This song is so long. If you try to memorize it, you're going to mess up. It's going to be really, 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 really important that when you play this song, that you are really looking at the music because it has so many lines and so much going on. If you are memorizing it, it's not going to work for you. So if that's been your strategy so far, because maybe you knew the tunes or whatever, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You're going to take forever to get this belt. So it's going to be long enough anyway. This is going to take you a very long time. Don't expect to be done with it right away. It's going to take a lot of figuring out, a lot of thinking, a lot of going back, okay? So don't get frustrated with yourself. Keep working hard, and you're going to get there eventually. All right, have a very nice day, and good luck with your purple belt.